Carbon fiber is what I'm working with today. Who doesn't like it, right? Especially on a X3. I had a customer bring in his dash, glass craft dashes for the X3. They come with no cuts on it. So if you have your own accessories or whatnot, you have to actually figure out, make your own template, cut it, trim it, etc. So I make these bezels for it, which make your life a bit easier. They're pretty much like this. This customer specifically wanted a couple things on it, so I made some bigger ones for the cluster and whatnot. But I wanted to show you guys a video of, how this can make your life easier when cutting into a $1,200 console. So basically, these things are already trimmed and cut to what you want on your car. So the way I started is I have these stands, which are pretty sweet because it lets you kind of sit it on there and then tweak it to level it out. And that's pretty level. I'll start positioning these guys, kind of put it in place. So yeah, once I get them all in place, and like the way I make these is, like, it's pretty easy to line them up. So they all kind of butt up to each other on both sides. So right now at this point, like, ideally what you do is just trace this stuff out, right? And specifically this one, this is the 2020 cluster. And I did a template and I was able to get the template snug enough to where it snaps into place on here. And then we're going to make a custom bezel that goes over top, which is going to be pretty sweet. And then over here we have a key cup, which pretty much holds the key, because on these X3s, you can't mount the key directly to this because it needs ABS plastic to actually make contact and start the car. So here we got PCI tracks, PCI Kenwood tracks, the DPS pad, which is flush mount also, 4 rockers, the cluster, and then the keyhole. So right now, like, I'm gonna trace this out with a pen, and then I'll go in with a Dremel and chop it up. I realized I made a big mistake. I didn't use blue tape. So this tape is much better. It doesn't stick as much, and I could write on it and I'll see it. So I'm just gonna lay this out. I feel like I should have the meta glasses when I'm doing this. It'd actually be pretty sweet to see the point of view, my point of view at least. So meta, if you're out there listening and you wanna, I don't know, maybe send me a set of glasses that I could test, I would greatly appreciate it. And just this last bit, I'm gonna cut this little section out so I know where to lay the trim piece. I can lay out the bezels. The more trickier part of this, it's just lining these up, and obviously the cutting, that can be pretty daunting in itself, even though you still have a template to go off. It's like cutting into a $1,300 piece of carbon. It's not always fun. So I got it all traced out. So this side is going to stay open, but the holes are all up in there to cut. This will be the Kenwood. So the trick with this is, for the template, like, I'm going to have to go out, cut outside of these lines a bit, because obviously we're tracing from the inside of the template. But this guy too, I'm going to cut a little bigger than this. I'm going to cut this whole shape out here. I don't know about you guys, but I always lose my gloves. All right, let's get this little pilot hole in there. That was a good amount of holes. You get this nice little scent of clear and chemicals once you start cutting into this. So definitely wear something to not smell that. So for the mounting bolts on the bezels, I'm going to be using these guys. These are M5 countersunks. And I'm going to go ahead and countersink the bezels right now. So I'm going to go ahead and countersink these, get a nice level position, and then just mark it. I learned using this tool the hard way. First time I got it, I was all smashing into the metal and didn't realize that you gotta let this bit eat the aluminum slowly, or whatever it is you're going into. It's like a very light pressure, and then just let it eat. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's nice and countersunk. There's a boatload of holes here I gotta make, so I'm gonna save you sitting through here and looking at that process, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that. That should do it. Got all these countersunk, cleaned them up. So there's a lot of holes. I had to clean the bit a couple times. Always wear your glasses. First chunk, that's a big chunk out of there, but big enough for the cluster. And got a leftover piece of carbon that could be used for the future. I know sometimes it's just like, oh, it'd be better if we just cut the whole thing out, but at the same time, you kind of lose structure, and it gets a little bit more flimsy when you do that. So I'm always cautious of what to cut, what not to cut. So many fibers. Intercom section, cut. I'll OCD these cuts after. I just got this last bit to cut. This one's pretty close. It's like right next to that mounting point, but should be good. I think the next bit is the more tedious one, where I'm gonna get the Dremel and just go in and get all those smaller radiuses that I want. I mean, honestly, do I have to do it? No. Do you have to? No. But it's always good to look at something and look at it how it's nicely clean cut, not just chopped up. So I feel like carbon fiber deserves a nice clean cut. So I'm gonna spend some time on it with the Dremel. Looks much nicer when it's nicely cut instead of just chopped. Sweet, so carbon is cut. Everything is cut nicely. Edges are cleaned up. So I'm gonna lay the bezels in now. So these should sit nicely in here on the holes. Drop the key cup. DPS pad. Get all these mounting bolts. It all just fall in place. Did something right. That's a lot of bolts. I just want to run the dash like that. I'm gonna have to get me one for Old Faithful over here. I want to show you guys the process on how I cut these dashboards. Thanks for watching. I'll be posting more of these videos soon when I get cards in here to be able to do it. And drop some comments below. Let me know how you feel about the dash, if you will run it, if you won't. And to the next video, subscribe and like, and I'll see you there.